Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, because I know it is in the middle of the night for some of you. Welcome to our webinar, Human Rights for a Bright Future. Today is the last day of our 16 days of action on violence against women. And on the 25th of November, I asked you all to unite, be activists to end violence against women and girls. I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to all Soroptimists in our 5 federations. I have seen you unite. I have seen you stand up. I have seen so many different articles and items in orange. I'm wearing orange today. You have dressed in orange. You have painted in orange. You have knitted and crocheted in orange. You have lit up buildings and bridges in orange. You have engaged in activities and events to raise awareness. So again, many, many thanks. Today, Soroptimists are also across the world taking part in celebrating Human Rights Day. And why do we do this? Because human rights are inherent to all human beings, regardless of race, sex, nationality, ethnicity, language, religion, or any other status. And human rights is one of the reasons for being. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights was proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in Paris on the 10th of December, 1948, as a common standard of achievements for all people and all nations. It is a milestone document in the history of human rights and is widely recognized as having inspired and paved the way for the adoption of more than 70 human rights treaties applied today on a permanent basis at global, national, and regional levels. Today, we also celebrate the SI International Presence Appeal and seek to fundraise for that appeal. Many Soroptimists deny themselves something, such as going to the hairdresser, going out for lunch, and instead put this normal cost towards the appeal. Whatever you are doing, I want to thank you, not only for raising the funds, but also giving something to others who do not have it, even though it should be one of their basic human rights. Today, we are concentrating on one basic human right, the right to education, and how this can transform the lives of women and girls. Article 26 states that everyone should have the right to education, and today that we are taking that in its widest form, that of education and learning. The prevalence of extreme poverty, conflicts, climate change, and many other factors has significantly reduced the progress of education and training in many developing countries. Children from poor households have a higher probability of dropping out of school than their counterparts from rich backgrounds. Disparities between rural and urban areas remain high. Many countries that have experienced armed conflict have seen an increase in the number of children who are not attending school. Education is the key to charting the life course towards more justice and sustainability, but it is failing millions of children, youth, and adults, increasing their exposure to poverty, violence, and exploitation. The COVID-19 pandemic increased a pre-existing education crisis. Reliance on digital technologies for learning has deepened exclusion and gender inequalities. Without remedial action, better support to teachers, trainers, and increased financing, learning losses and school dropouts will continue to rise, reversing progress to all of the Sustainable Development Goals and depriving women and girls of a future of dignity and opportunity. I chose education as the focus for the SI Presence Appeal 21 to 23, because I believe not only is it a fundamental human right for everyone, it is a powerful driver for sustainable development and peace. It is one of the strongest instruments for reducing the multiple barriers that affect women and girls around the world. And in fact, all of the Sustainable Development Goals require education in order to succeed. Irrespective of race, creed, and gender, education makes it possible for women and girls to stand out as equals with other people from different walks of life and to participate fully in society. It gives us an understanding of the world around us and offers an opportunity to use that knowledge wisely. So today I thought it would be great to hear from our project partners, the people on the ground who are using your donations to give women and girls their human rights for a bright future. And now I want to find my CVs of the people who are coming on board with us today. I thought I had them. I can introduce them anyway, because I know them quite well. Our first 2 speakers are from the Cambodia Community Dream Organization. Jenny Lipa, founder and president, and Sovan Seam, Education Coordinator. Jenny is the president and founder of CCDO and has a wealth of education experience for living on 4 continents and having a multitude of careers from advertising and public relations to interior design to deluxe travel to philanthropy. She founded CCDO 15 years ago because she saw a need to give back to society and help educate Cambodians, especially women, so that they can improve their lives and make a positive impact on their families and communities. Sovan graduated with a master's degree in business administration and management and an education degree in Cambodia. She has been working with women and girls in communities for about 10 years and has a great experience dealing with them, empowering them to gain financial sustainability and social enterprise. She is the lady in charge of women and girls empowerment for education and life skills. And I'm going to turn it over now to both of them. So Jenny, thank you.
Okay. Hi, good evening. First of all, Maureen, thank you very much for this opportunity. And thank you, Soroptimist, for allowing us to carry on doing the work that we're doing and supporting us in helping women have a better chance with education and supporting their families. I don't know if any of you know that, or you might have forgotten, it's just a reminder, we had the Khmer Rouge 1974 for 4.5 years. So 1974 to 79, all the educated people were killed. We then had a civil war, which lasted until 1998. So basically, the education system in Cambodia is barely 24 years old, and I see it growing step by step. The older woman did not have a chance for to be educated and to build a brighter, better future. So our Women Empowerment Program, or we call it Life Skills, is very important for them to integrate into society. With that, I am going to hand you over to Sovan Seam, who is totally amazing. With 2 little toddlers, she managed to get herself an MBA as well as the other degrees and working full time. Sovan, show them how you've been working your magic on the ground.
Yes, thank you, Jenny, and thank you, Maureen. So, first of all, I would like to share my slide presentation first. Let me know if you could really see my share screen.
Sorry, can you turn your sound up a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Okay, so can you hear me clearly now?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So let me carry on my presentation. So now I got a chance to present what we have done in Cambodia in the province about women empowering program for education and for life project. Obviously, like what Maureen has just mentioned, like investing in women and girl education has to transform community and country and entire world. Especially when women and girls got higher education, so it's really real that they left to get married in early age, younger age, so that when they got well educated, so they can really earn higher income and they can really participate in decision making that really most affected them, so that it can make their life change, not just like other people tell her you have to do this and that, but she can have her own decision. So
Sovan,
the goal of our
it's still really hard to hear you. Can you maybe move the mic a little bit closer? Thank you so much.
yeah.
Can you?
Okay,
can
thank
you make?
you for reminding me.
Oh,
So,
that is perfect. Thank you.
yes, yes. So our project goal is to increase the knowledge and professional life skill for women and girls to assess gender equality, leadership, and healthy financial sustainability in Siem Reap community in Cambodia. We work in 3 main districts. We work in Prasat Pakong, Angkor Thom, and Banti Srai. We chose these 3 main districts because we found out that these 3 main districts we have more women that is report that they don't really have just like have the better education, so they still need help. That's why we choose these three main districts. So here is our recruitment process. First, we try to select the disadvantaged and marginalized women and girls. We choose the dropout school girl, and also we choose orphanage women and girls. The other two here, we also choose the disadvantaged and marginalized women and girls, but they are willing to set up an enterprise. They want to start a business. They want to transform their life from housewife to some a businesswoman. The business that I refer to is not really something big. The available business that they can have in their own community that I will explain later. And also we choose the women that have high commitment to join in our 2-year program, that they want to really willing to share to the other women and girls in the community after they finish our training. To answer to our project goal, we have 4 main objectives. First, we provide education to women and girls in a safe, friendly, and stimulating environment where there is equal opportunity to support for all. So we select the key target women, but after they finish our training program, they are not only happy themselves, they happy their family and the broader community. We also help them to develop self-confidence, self-esteem, and to make them feel valued through the mentoring program that they join with us. We also enable women, particularly the most vulnerable and excluded in society, to access information, resource, and service that they need to make a positive life change. And the last one, we help them to break down the barrier to learning and participation for women so that they become a fully active citizen and are equipped to pass on their experience to the benefit their family and a broader community as well. Just like for now, we have worked on our program almost 1 year from January 2022 until now is December. So we have recruited 2,814 women and girls, but we haven't finished all the program yet. We try to train them step by step. We focus on the group of women and girls that need to be trained in a specific topic. So we have finished. We have already trained to 1,659 women and girls on family planning, birth spacing, body and reproductive health, and personal hygiene and sanitation. We focus on this training because we believe that this training is really important as a woman and as a mother to take care of their whole family, especially their kids. And we also try to empower the women to just like to know about their power, their gender, and especially the gender equality and gender relationship, especially their right and gender-based violence. Because we found out that those who live in rural area, it's just like when they don't really get a better education, they seem to have the husband is rely on drinking, and due to the reason that they are drunk, try to make a domestic violence in the family. So we train the women and to let them know that they are not the one who should receive and should really the victim of domestic violence. This problem is not a common problem. It's not a normal problem. It's a problem that needs to be solved. And we also just like promote them about economic sustainability by providing an SME training. SME here, we refer to small and medium enterprise. But when I work in the community, I saw that we cannot really apply the medium enterprise here because they don't really have a startup income. They don't really have they don't really have a small money to generate a big business. So we try to promote them to do the small business that they have available in their community, such as making a basket via rattan. So the forest to find to cut or find a rattan and then build a rattan basket. They also can make a handbag. They also can really do a chicken raising, piglet, or gardening. So this really available in community, and even they stay home looking after their children, they can really work on this at the same time. So when the whole family working on one project, for example, gardening, I have one community that I choose. Almost all of them they do the gardening. They can really get a customer easily because when they know that one community really plan a lot of things, so it's the require of the market. So it's easier for them when they come to one place, they can buy all the vegetables. So it's really great for them. So it is really a success story for them also. We also have one community that is focused on making a rattan basket. No matter what style that the buyer needs, they just give them the sample. We will have, the community will help each other. For example, the other family, they don't really know how to do that stylish basket in order to get higher price. But when one woman know it, they're willing to share. So we really have a group of other women that don't know how to do this. We ask the one who know it to demonstrate or to do it, to allow other women to build it as well. Because when we make a simple basket, they can really get a low price and use really a lot of raw material that is really hard to find. But if they make a basket require, it's not only basket, even the handbag, even growing the vegetables. If the market requires something and we can really do it for them, we get a better price.
Sivan, that is so wonderful. Before you keep going, can we ask you one quick question? What was the most impactful of all of those programs that you did? Which one did the women like the most? And if you can move the mic again a little closer, and we have time, so feel free to slow down a little bit. Everyone wants to hear all that you're saying. You're doing an amazing job.
Yes. The women really like the training that we do, especially for gender-based violence and also for related to rights. They really like to see that, because normally they say they just know that previously women really the one who stay at home and earn no income. So men can really decide what's going on in the family, what to do in the family. Women have no voice. So when we start to spread that training, the women really feel that they have the right, they are value, even they are old. For example, we have a 45 years old woman that is joined with us, and her husband really say that she just stay home, she do nothing. And then we try to motivate her, like who gonna stay home and looking their children, who gonna do the laundry, the cooking, the gardening that they plan together, and also who raise the chicken and looking after cows. Normally in Cambodia, for rural area, if they stay home, at least they raise chicken and cows. And then if they have the other financial to buy a little piglet, they're gonna do a piglet also. So women stay home and do everything. So when we encourage them and motivate them that they have the right as the men also, so she's really happy. Like she feel free to join in our program. She feels so happy to be together with us, because she feel that we are value them. And one more thing is SME program that I really like the most, because one community that is really far away, it takes more than 30 kilometers from town. They normally just stay home and looking after their children only. But when we introduce them, why don't you go and just try to find the other source of income in the family besides raising chicken that you can raise every day, besides feeding the cow. We start to promote them making the rattan basket, because this easier. It not really require to do it all day long. Just like when they are free from do all the things, they can really do it, and then they can really earn income. Yes, they do it, and they say that just like previously they depend on their husband, just like the money that they earn from the construction side. He works as a construction worker, or he use the physical power to work. And then when the woman stay at home and she do also other job, and she can also earn a little bit income, she feel proud of herself that she also can earn money, not only her husband. And this really help her that she don't have to stay as a victim of domestic violence, because some women feel that I cannot really divorce my husband. I cannot really report to the police that my husband hit me, because what if my husband go away? Who gonna look after this family? Who gonna earn income to support everyday food, and also who gonna support our children's education? Because she feel afraid that they are not really independent to do all the things. That's why she think that okay, he can hit me and tomorrow it's fine. That's okay, because he's drunk that he hit me. Normally he don't really hit me, but it's just a reason that we really feel proud of. So I will move on. Okay. Yes. Besides the training, we also work. Our project team also work with the beneficiary that is related to key person that is work closely in the community, such as health center staff. We work with health center staff. We work with community representative. We work with village chef, and also we work with a community also. So we do this because we don't really target only women and girls that we have selected. We also want to work with the government key people to really report that what we have learned from the women, and we really bring those information to also the government also. This is really a good point because I do a one home visit just like first time, and then they really answer my question that okay, they go to receive the community service, but they don't really just go to the health center because they feel like the health center is not really give her the service that she wants. Just like she don't really give me what I really need. I feel like when I go there, they just like ignore me. So we bring this information to the health center people, so that we say that like this and like that, what we have really hear from the villager, and the health center really take our problem seriously. They really explain us what happened, and then they really learn from that experience, and then to improve their service also. So villager who is really stay in rural community really afraid to report what they face to the key person. Even for example, even her husband make something wrong on her, she afraid to tell him that okay, you shouldn't do this or do that on me, or she don't satisfy with any service. She cannot really report directly to that service person. It's good that she talks through me, and then our program really just like report this information just like around to address the solution.
Siobhan, I'm going to interrupt you 1 second. Could you briefly explain what we're doing with the vocational training as well?
Yes.
We're running out of
Yes. For the vocational training, we work with a schoolgirl, it's like dropout schoolgirl, and schoolgirl. We collaborate with a provincial vocational training center that is available both boy and girl who is drop out when they finish grade 9 here. So they provide a free education on hairdresser or salon or tailor for women, for men, for mechanical, or everything that related to the skill that they can earn a better income, just like drop out and work as a worker. So we collaborate with them. We try to connect the drop out school girl and connect with that vocational training center, and to make sure that when they are really don't want to go to study, or they have already dropped out, they can have a place that they can study for a short time from 3 to 6 months, and then they get a better income. One example is if they work as a worker here, the normal income is $7.5 per day, not per hour. It's really normal here, and then it's really higher. This if I don't consider that they were cheated by their boss. If they were cheated by the boss, they work for half month or a month without pay sometimes. But if they join our vocational, not our the vocational training center from the provincial vocational training center, they can really get a better job. For example, they are a trained hairdresser. They are a trained a tailor. They are a trained mechanical. They are a trained electrician. So they get a better income and a higher salary as those who really graduate degree. This is our vocational training program.
Okay, I think we run out of time. We need to wrap up quickly.
Yes. Beside the training and also working with the key related program and also the vocational training center, we also do a media campaign. We do a community forum. We raise awareness. We do a public seminar. They just like to raise the awareness, to do a public seminar, to give the information that we gather from the community to the broader community, just like to their husband, to to the community, to the villager, to the health center also. So when we do a training, we only do for the women. Even we do we dress the gender equity, only women know that. But when we do a community forum and public seminar, all men, not only women, just like men also can join. People in community can join, so they learn it, they know it. I used to talk directly to the man that really make that he's still drunk and he joined with me. I say that here is the key people that I want to work with. I told him that you are the key people that I want to work with, because if you are drunk and I ask you to really jump into a fire, you will say no, but you will hit your wife and under the reason that you are drunk. It's not really reasonable. I talk like that to him, and then he really like laughing, and then I meet him for the first time. So when I go to the community in the second time, in the third time, because we really work not only one time, we just like repeatedly work with them. So I was reported that that man was not drinking anymore. Just like he stay home and had to do he had to earn money also, and his wife said that because they really respect and they say teacher in Cambodia is Nekru. She said that thank you Nekru for your advice and for you really what you really said to him, and then he have changed his behavior.
So Van, could we move on again, please?
Yeah. Yes. Sorry, interrupt quickly. So I know that we had a target of about 2,382 women. We have actually surpassed this in a year instead of in the 2 years. And I'm really thrilled at the results that we have had. And Savan is great, but it's difficult for her to contain her enthusiasm in 10 minutes. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to expand the program.
Yeah.
So Van, do you just want to go through your rest of your slides very, very quickly?
Yeah, yes, sure, I can really go. So I have mentioned about raising women awareness. So we do a roundtable discussion with the commune chief also. I do a home visit activity, that is, I really visit almost half of the women already. So they raise me a problem, such as domestic violence. They raise about their family really earn not really a lot of income, and they face with poverty, and also fall into debt. And also they really talk about how their kid education. So this problem I don't really keep in my mind. I really do I do a convening roundtable discussion with the key people. I raise all the problem and present it to them. So in response to that, when I report the domestic violence case, they really address it. Just like after the meeting, they address it right away, because in the commune in the commune hall, they also really try to make domestic violence decrease also. So when we report the case, they just like address the case right away. And also we do a media campaign. We have our tuk-tuk with a speaker. So that campaign is about encouraging women in leadership participation, because as you see that all village chefs are men. So why not women? Because if the woman is a village, maybe she understands better all the women face in the family. So she can really solve that problem better. Yes. My last slide is impact story. I think if we have time, we can really play at the end of the our
okay.
Our time. And thank you everyone for your time and listen to my presentation about the project.
Okay, thank you very much, Savan. I think everybody will take an awful lot out from what you've said about what work that you are doing in Cambodia. Our second presentation now will be from Susan Stassi, who is the CEO of Rose Academies Uganda. And Claire, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your surname. I'm sorry, but I would make an absolute mess of it, who is the program director at Rose Academies. Susan is the CEO of Rose Academies, a globally recognized humanitarian agency that is established in Uganda. Since 2014, she has spearheaded multiple campaigns that address the disparities of health and wellness of impoverished communities in an effort to empower the weak and vulnerable with healthcare knowledge and to reduce preventable death of children. And Rose is the program director and is based in Kampala. She has 12 years of experience in business operations and program management, and she is now overseeing our project. So I will now pass it over to Susan and Claire.
Good morning, and thank you so much. Let's see here. First of all, do you have where I can share the screen?
Yeah, you should be able to share.
Yeah, okay. Well, I want to, okay. Just real quickly, go to my PowerPoint here. But thank you so much for inviting us, and it's an honor and a pleasure to be here. Yes, Rose Academies is firmly established in Uganda, and I'm really grateful that I have two of my staff members on the line this morning. I have Claire, who's my program director, and Haidari Lubuvi, who is our director of nutrition. And this is a we program. I can't do this alone, but together we can. And that's our philosophy. So I'm going to go real quickly into who Rose is in the first couple slides, and then turn it over to the one that you really want to hear from, and that is Claire. So yes, since 2014, Rose Academies has been on the ground working in actually Central and Eastern Africa, and our primary mission is to empower the vulnerable, oppressed, and disabled rural poor with knowledge. And this girl here is from my first trip to the Congo, and where I thought I was going to be building a school, and I found out that they don't need another school charging tuition. They need better schools, and they need to be teaching. And this is what this is all about. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity to be welcomed by the Soroptimists. So why are so many girls out of school? This was the question I asked when I first started Rose. And it's really, if you look at the whole structure of pretty much all of sub-Saharan Africa, it's the same. 76% of Uganda's population, they live in the rural poor communities. And this is a picture here of my program leader in the Soroti area, where we are working to select the 30 girls that are going to be taking advantage of being of the scholarship program. And they say that the income level is $1.90 a day, and that is really, that's at the high end. These people just barely make it. The cultural traditions are such that, and this is not just something new, this is generations of traditions. And I was really interested to hear that Cambodia sounds very, very similar in their cultural traditions. The girls needed at home. She needs to help with the siblings, the sick family members, chores, farming, and whatever it takes to run the family. They have large families. And for some reason, and again, it sounded very similar in Cambodia, parents are many times opposed to a girl's education. They feel that it should be the boy that goes on and gets his education. But the high dropout rates, 74% of the girls that we surveyed dropped out of school after attending upper primary. And to put this in context, I don't know how the structure is in some of the other countries, but in the United States, we have grades 6 and 7, and girls are typically 12, 13 years old. So what is that? That's puberty. So 45% of the girls that we surveyed dropped out of school due to pregnancy. Early marriage, 57% of the girls were married before age 18. 11% were married by 16. And this is not 16, 15, 14, and on. Unable to pay tuition. If they're impoverished, paying school tuition is certainly the last thing that they're going to be worried about. They're worried about putting food on the table for their families. So how do we change the dynamics? I was happy to hear that Masaka, you have a Soroptimist group that is in Masaka, because this is where I started in Uganda. And this is a group of girls that were attending a school that I taught there. So this is our philosophy for my Rose Uganda team. We believe that we should inspire girls to be positive change agents. We encourage creativity. We provide skills development, lessons on economic enterprise and financial literacy. And that, again, sounds very similar to what we just heard Saboyan. Provide opportunities for leadership. And we engage the youth in advocacy for improved access to healthcare education. So this is a picture of when I was there in May. And this is some of our fellows. This is not all of them. This is not all of our team, because we are working throughout Uganda in 4 districts. And I'm so proud of these team members. We're basically volunteers. And I have not only the fellowship program that we have that are assigned to different areas, but we have a creative arts team. And these are street artisans that we brought on board, and they are amazing because why? They're young, it's youth-led. They have the ability to reach out to these youth that are struggling. And we're showing that this is an answer to improving outreach to the rural poor, is they can relate. They speak the language. We don't go in there and talk down, we talk with. And this is a new way of teaching. This is our program director that you're going to hear from in a minute. But I believe in the power of collaboration, and I've started working several years ago with different academic institutions, and I'm working with Santa Clara University, Cornell, Texas A&M, and developing application programs that run offline internet, run on a tablet, and they're graphic intensive, so that we teach these illiterate rural poor villagers with images that they can relate to. And we teach in the local dialect. So we're teaching about neonatal health care, antenatal health, and so on. So these are some of the apps that we developed, and these will be taught to the girls that we've selected with the 30 girls. So we'll be teaching them about sexual development and menstrual health and hygiene, neonatal health, which is really comprehensive of having a baby, talking about having a baby. It's more than just having the baby, it's caring for the baby. Healthy Future is a compilation of healthcare booklets, disease prevention. Our mission is really to save lives. So how do we do that? We teach, and we teach how about how they can prevent chronic diseases, cervical cancer, TB, and so it goes. The list goes on and on. Of course, for the tropical diseases, and nutrition is a huge factor. Malnutrition is killing the children right and left, and so. As I said, I believe in working together with strong partnerships, and I'm just very proud of of the working partners that we've established in Uganda and throughout the United States and the UK with the Soroptimist. And thank you for having us be a part of your great organization. So the President's Appeal, wow. What happened is several months ago, we learned we were awarded this wonderful scholarship program, and we were overjoyed, of course. The scholarship program truly opens the doors to a bright future. As a result, 30 Ugandan families, these are impoverished families, are now filled with hope and gratitude as they look forward to 2023. The idea that they're going to have one of their girls be able to go to school. So what's covered? Oh my gosh, look at this. Tuition paid for a full year at a private primary school, uniforms, books, and supplies, multiple workshops on, as I told you, the feminine health, disease prevention, nutrition, besides going to school and learning how to read and write, classes on economic enterprise, vocational skills development, and financial literacy, as in Cambodia, that they're doing and showing that this is the way to go. This is how we empower girls, and community building, leadership training, and more. So I am now turning this over to the one who really knows what's going on the ground. And let me welcome Claire Anamugisha, who is my program director. I love her dearly. She's doing a fabulous job. And so take it from there.
Thank you so much, Rama. First of all, this program is just so dear to my heart, and I'm a product of a scholarship program. If it wasn't for someone coming up and helping me out in my primary school, I wouldn't be here talking to you all. So this is something that is so close to my heart. So I'm really, really grateful for what you are doing for this girl.
You broke up, Claire.
Susan, you might have to step in. I think we lost. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Are you back?
No. This is
There she
typical of Uganda. The network is always terrible. Okay, there she is. Yeah.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so we started with a baseline assessment, and this was to help us identify the girls that right for this opportunity. Usually here, when you talk about scholarship opportunity, everybody wants to just jump in, leaving some people really behind that would deserve an opportunity like this. So we considered a population that is mostly PWDs, persons with disabilities in Sorority. And we surveyed 491 families. This was using the Kobo toolbox that helped us organize or carry out the survey. So out of the 491 families, we identified 187 girls, and most of these girls have dropped out of school due to different reasons. If we hadn't done this, we wouldn't have even found out that when a sick member of a family, when a family has maybe a sick person, maybe an uncle or a sibling, they are so fast, like to stop someone from going to school to first take care of this sick person. And we found out that mostly, like in these families, education is really not considered first priority. In case of a small problem, they are so quick to just discontinue a child from going on. Then pregnancies, most of the girls that dropped out of schools were due to pregnancy. I think due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdown, most of these girls became pregnant and at a really, really tender age. So once a girl gets pregnant, they no longer consider them as a child. They look at them as an adult. So they do not now look at them as first priority to go to school. So we found most of these girls home, and then the others were due to, okay, sorry, Grandma, you've taken me so fast, but yes, okay, yeah, poverty. Most of the families that were headed by, for instance, elderly caretakers who don't have jobs, they couldn't really afford. So they decided to keep the girls at home to just take care of the family, help with gardening and so on. So after doing this baseline assessment, of course, 187 girls were really so many, and we just needed 30 of these. So we had to go back and select from these girls, from the 187 girls. And this is where we, of course, we looked at all these factors, but then we had specific factors, specific criteria that we used. For instance, we needed girls that have dropped out of primary 7. That was number 1. But if they are not enough, then we'd look at those that have dropped out of primary 6. We did not consider the girls that dropped out of primary 3, primary 4, because our scholarship program is going to be for just 1 year. And so we realized that if we considered those that have dropped out of the lower primary, then it might be hard for the families to take them for, like, to continue later on. So we emphasized that the families should actually be willing to take care of these girls once they have been selected, once they are in school. They should be able to support them and be willing to give them the time to read. Then we also looked at families that have persons with disabilities, because most of these are marginalized and they need help. So if a girl had a disability, any form of disability that is stopping her from going to school, we considered her as our first priority. Then girls that were dropped out of school due to pregnancies but are still willing to go back to school, we also gave them a chance. So all this helped us, like, to select the best candidates, the best girls that are really good for this, that are very ready to take on this chance, this opportunity to go back to school. So after the selection criteria, after selecting these girls, we had to interview the girls, but we needed to know where they come from, because there were scenarios where someone said, there is a girl I know somewhere, or I have this and this girl that is not going to school. Yet the girls were actually going to school, but of course, when they hear that it is a scholarship, they don't consider the other ones home. And we actually found out, while visiting these families, we found out that there are girls that have, one of the families, a mother with like 10 girls, takes them up to primary 6, and then she doesn't continue like to P7 because she says she has so many girls. But in that one family, there was a girl that was HIV positive, and she has never been taken to school. So when we asked her, the woman told us that she doesn't think she has a future. Like she doesn't think her daughter has a future to continue or to have an education. So that's why she chose to take the other girls to school and left her behind. She was actually hidden in a house. And we specifically had to come in and talk to this woman, and we asked her if it is possible we could, yes, give a chance to 2 of her girls because she had 10 girls, and most, like 5 girls dropped out of primary 6, so meaning they had not completed P7. So we told her, we are going to take care of 2 of your girls, but we need a commitment that you're going to take this girl that is HIV positive to school. And she consented to that. So we have 2 girls from that family, and the other girl is going to also go to school. So we interviewed both parents and girls. We also realized that some girls were stopped from going to school on the day that we were coming to do the interviews. So they didn't know that we were going to interview them. And when we asked, some of the girls would tell us that, oh, I did not go to school today. They told me not to go to school today. So it was a process of like getting to deep down in the rural communities to get the right girls for this opportunity. And we had to conduct an orientation whereby we invited both the parents, and oh, sorry, I have a few of the girls that I wanted to show you here. And Grandma, you can take me to the next slide. And they are really, really, really happy to be part of this program. This girl is Foeb, and she's 13 years old. So she dropped out of school because her brother got ill, and of course the family couldn't pay for her. The medical bills all going to the brother, and the money that would have been for tuition are going to the brother. So she is so happy to be going back to school, and she says she would love to be a nurse when she completes her primary 7 and her studies in future. And yeah, this is one of the girls. Then we have another girl, she's called Jerusha Akelo. We found this beautiful girl at home, and her dad unfortunately got into an accident, and he was in a wheelchair. So he couldn't afford to take her back to school, and she was really, really happy. She actually told us she would want to be a journalist. And yeah, you are making Jerusha's dreams come true by taking her back to school. Then we have Faith, and her grandmother she has a disability, so she couldn't afford to take her to school because she has more grandchildren at home. And Faith is at home taking care of her grandmother and the siblings. She goes to the garden, she does chores at home. So when she heard that there's an opportunity for her to go back to school, she was really, really, really happy. And many other girls like her are also so excited. So when we were done with all that, we went to look for the schools where we want these girls to go, where these girls are going to be taken. So so many schools that we visited were government aided schools, and here in my country, government aided schools really, really have poor quality education. I'm so sorry to say, but that's why we are considering private schools, because at least the teachers are paid and they deliver. So we visited most of the schools around, and we got admission letters, and we have them ready when school begins, which is going to be in February next year. These girls have places already secured for them in the different schools. So we carried out an orientation because most of the parents had so many questions about this fellowship program, scholarship program. And we had to talk about different things. First of all, we needed the parents to sign consent forms that they are going to actually allow these girls to go back to school. The parents that have girls that have given birth, yeah, we have 2 of the girls that have babies and they are going to be going back to school. So we had to find a way of these parents taking care of the girls when they are at school, taking care of their grandchildren, helping out the girls so that the girls are at school and the babies are at home being taken care of by their grandparents. And also to consent that they are going to provide mentorship, to provide emotional support, or any other needed materials that we might not be able to provide. So we discussed the schools that we had selected, and we needed the parents to also be on board and give us their feedback about the schools, then the requirements that we may not be able to meet, so that the parents can know where they will come in. Then this orientation helped us to develop profiles for each of the girls so that we know who exactly we are taking on board. Then, of course, also the girls needed to know where they will come in, like what do we expect from them? And we had to come to an agreement, and consent forms were signed, and the girls have formed groups as we speak. They are actually trying to catch up because it's been a while since they went to school. So we had to have them create small revision groups whereby during this time they can meet and revise and study and catch up with where they have been lagging behind, so that when school begins, they are on board with what is happening. So as we enter winter break, or right now we are organizing various classes whereby we shall be teaching. Actually, next week we have a training of the girls. They are going to be learning how to do reusable pads because most of them come from poor families. Actually, all of them, not most of them, but all the girls, and the parents cannot afford. They can't afford to provide sanitary pads. So we are going to be teaching these girls menstrual hygiene management, how to make the reusable pads, so that of course when school starts, they have everything they need to go to school. And then nutrition classes, some of our programs that teach about nutrition, then disease prevention, financial literacy. Mostly this, we are organizing trainings with the parents so that they can find a way of learning how to save, how to take care of their families, so that by the time this program comes to an end, at least they have something to do to take care of their girls, maybe for future purposes, and the girls that they have at home. Then enterprise development, some of them have ideas. We found that in most of the families, they have animals, they are rearing animals, they have land where they can grow some crops. So we are trying to see how we can help them to use what they have to at least make some income, to earn an income through maybe farming, and this will help them not to get stuck later on. And we are really, really, really grateful. This program has really, really helped us, like to reach out to more girls even those that have not been selected among the 30 girls, at least have a chance to do something. At our sorority office, we have sewing machines, we have programs that like bakery. So some of the girls that were not selected at least have been recruited, and they can continue and do something for themselves. Then we are going now, like the next step, we are going to purchase uniforms and supplies, scholastic materials, and come February, we shall be able to take these girls to school. And during the course of the term, we shall be monitoring these girls. And we are going to have a teacher, like a contact teacher in each school, where the girls will be, who will help us to monitor the girls. And in case they need any extra teaching or extra help, these are the teachers that will be helping them so that they can really, really perform well, because they have taken long without going to school. So yeah, I think that's it mostly from us. We are really, really grateful for all your help, and we promise to make this program a success. And we are so happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you very much. Thank you. We now come to our third project and the last one for today, and that is World Vision Georgia. This is the project that has been selected, and we're now going to listen to David, who is the Development Program Manager for World Vision in Georgia, which is an international humanitarian organization dedicated to working with children, families, and their communities worldwide in order to reach their full potential by tackling the causes of poverty and injustice. David, I'm going to hand it over to you. I know that you're there. I didn't get welcoming you at the start, but if you'd like to just share your screen now, and we'll listen to you.
Greetings first of all. Bonjour à tous. Thank you, Maureen. Thanks to Soroptimist International. Those really provided great support in Georgia, and we are happy that we were selected recently to do this beautiful project that I will talk about. Here I would like to give a small excursion about the Georgia itself, because I don't know how many people been in Georgia, and also I would like to make small highlights prior to going directly into the project. This beautiful place is the Tbilisi. It's the capital city of Georgia. Georgia is located between Russia and Turkey, and the statue that I'm going to show you now, it gives the understanding of how is women and women are understood for the Georgians, and how it was perceived. And that's why here you can see, I don't know if you can notice, this woman on the top of the picture. This is the Kartlis Deda. This is the popular monument and sculpture. And whenever the person will be in Tbilisi, in capital city, this is the one of the sites usually people are go and see. And for Georgians, it's always were understood that it's always resembled the Georgia. And this lady here holds the bowl with the wine. and a sword on the right hand that actually represent the Georgia that's known with its hospitality, but at the same time it suffered because of the many wars, and just recently in 2008 that brought a great grief to the country and to children and to the women. And even I would say that the main words in Georgian, for example, like a main pillar before of building the church, for example, it's considered to be Deda Bodzi, which means the mother pillar, or the what we have also the mother language, what we say, it's Deda Ena. That's usually, we don't call just the language, we call it mother language. Also, what we have a capital in Georgia, it means the not just the capital, but it's mother capital, Deda Kalaki. So with this, I would like to say how much it means the deity of the women in our country. But at the same time, I would like to say that the difficulties with related to the rights of the women, the rights of the girls, it's one of the most actual things also in Georgia, what I would like to note. And herewith, I would share my presentation. I myself, I represent World Vision International. I am in World Vision from 2008. And if anyone knows about the World Vision, I would like to note that this is all about the well-being of the children and the women and the girls, providing them equal opportunities and making the environment free of the violence for the children and for the women, and provide them with equal opportunities for all. For us, as for the World Vision, we understand that the children are either in the family or in the environment which is very close to the family. If there is no other opportunity for the children to stay in the families. We actively working on the street children issues and also supporting the families for the improved well-being of the children. While noting, I hope that everybody can see my screen, right?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Yes, thank you. As an evidence base, I would like here to highlight the main issues related to the accessibility of the, let's say, employment and the rights for the women. And here's the one of them are, for example, that out of 100%, 46% of the women only have access to the labor market. Among the percentage of the women employed between 15 to 38 years old, only 19% of the girls and women can have access to the employment, while for the same statistics, 35% are men. Also, when it's regarded to the home chores, I would say that 45 women usually spend 45 of their hours for the homemaking, while for the men it's 15 hours. It's it's actually through the research that was provided by UN Women in 2019. Also, out of 100%, out of unemployed women, 49% are half of the women say that they are not working simply because of the household work they need to do. And whether it's regards to the hourly earning, for example, women earn approximately, here I have in Georgian laris, in national currency of Georgia, but which is approximately 1.35 pounds for the women per hour, and 2 pounds for the men. Also, during the COVID period, that was the really difficult period for all, and the same was in Georgia. We would say that out of the workers who were laid off till the mid-June 2020, 66% were women. While usually when it comes to the well-being of the family, those are the ones usually who take over all the heavy load of their work for the benefit of their families. Women account approximately, as it regards to the sectors where women are employed, we would say that these are healthcare and social sectors, whereas the 75% are women. Also, there's the hospitality sector, whereas the 60% of women. Also, school teachers and the schooling, where there's up to 84%, and much less they are the women engaged in the sphere of the construction, transport, and communication, where their part is approximately 10% and relatively 23%. We would like still to note that many women also work in informal sector and in unpaid subsistence farm work. This is also the biggest issue in Georgia. I don't think it will be the very just common for Georgia, but I would note, I believe this is practically everywhere, but I would like to note that also for Georgia, that higher paying positions, usually men are taking the most places, and the women has less percentage. And also in the same positions, men are paid higher than women. Also, as it regards to the natural, as a choice of the education, the same problem is faced by the girls, women, that practically the same situation as regards to the sectors, where the 80% of students are art and humanities, 70% are in health, and only 30% are in engineering, manufacturing, construction. And even if we talk about the intellectual technologies field and communications, in 2021 academic year, only 15% of the students were women. This is where we talk about the professional choices. Coming from this fact, I would also note, this is basically, I would highlight, this is where we're working. This is the central Georgia. It's in Imereti. We are working in 3 municipalities in Imereti region, which counts practically approximately population of 500,000 of the population all over the Georgia. And this project, particularly what we do with Soroptimist International, it is running not only in urban area, but in rural areas as well. Now, to come to the point, what we actually are doing. Practically, within this project, we contribute to the employability girls and women in Emirati. And we target as a direct beneficiaries 54 vulnerable girls and women. Basically, we have three components within the project. Those are informed coming from the points that I already mentioned as problematic for the girls and women in our area. Particularly coming from the fact that most of the girls and women, they are less engaged in the IT and communications. We put much more efforts to support the girls and women with technologies. In particular, we believe that this provides them with better opportunities for employment. And not only this, but this is also engages them in the field that they haven't been doing before, and also which is less popular with the girls and women in Georgia. I think we thought that it will be a good startup with this that will support the girls and the women in Georgia in particular, and we'll have a good precedent of the girls and women engaging in technologies. And also, we would like to note that this field is much higher paid, and the women and the girls will have a better choices for the employment in this regards in the future. While I'm doing this presentation now, we have 20 girls in our training room down there where they still run the Sky Tech Club in Kutaisi. We actually running these Sky Tech clubs. It's 20 girls in each of them. We selected according to the open application process. This provided an open opportunity for the girls and the women to apply for these clubs. And the main topics that those are provided according to the curriculum are digital marketing, copywriting, it's programming basics, it's a web programming, and also how to well benefit with social networking, also how to use it in the business. Which is also we're selecting according to the most recent survey what we had from the employers, and we consider this as an important and a good opportunity for the girls and the women to learn. And we received up to 100 applications during just a short period of time. And out of 100 applications, more than 100 applications, based on the most vulnerability and also motivation, we selected with our professional lecturers, those are providing these sessions, interactive sessions. We selected, in spite of the target, we have 40 girls and women, we selected 45. Basically, it's a 8 months program that will give them a good opportunity, and they will be afterwards certified, and this will provide the good opportunity them for the employment in the future. As it regards to the Sky Tech Lab, we don't mean that they will learn only technologies. Of course, World Vision is much oriented also on improving skills. And in this regards, for us, it's very important to nurture the skills related to the active citizenship, which also includes the topics like the advocacy, leadership, project design, budgeting, also gender equality, gender-based violence, and related issues. Also giving the good ideas to the participants about, in case of the gender-based violence, how to make a referral. what are the entities are responsible for protecting the rights of the women, girls and the women, and also how to make a prevention to the issues. Also, the social workers are actively working with the families, in particular girls in case of the violence, and they provide the good hints what to do in specific cases. The second and the biggest component is the UPG. The UPG is the module that's run by the World Vision. It's abbreviation for Ultra Poor Graduation Model. The main idea of UPG is supporting household to end the poverty. While the government in Georgia is much more paying attention to the single type donation, sometimes it's even by them, it's considered as an ineffective tool to end the poverty. While we suggest on average, 1 year of the work with each of the household through two main components. One is the social work, which considers improving the skills and resilience to the poverty of the households. And the second is to work on economic factors. Those are causing the poverty, economically, the poverty for the family. In this regards, there are two main personnel, the social worker and the employment specialist. Those are working with each of the household. And overall, within this pilot initiative, there were selected 9 women-led households, and they are providing the number of the trainings and capacity building initiatives to empower them. This is related to the numerous points, but most important for them, like, for example, hygiene, sanitation, it's a positive parenting, it's how to manage the business, how to have access to the information with regards to the employment. It's about the financial literacy, about the budgeting and making this savings for the family. And also providing them with the professional trainings. We're funding professional trainings for them according to their capacity and motivation. And this is based on the assessment made by employment specialists. And within this initiative, we expect the direct impact on the families that also includes the employment of the family members, providing better skills for the women, and also the income generation activities for the family to end the poverty. Also, I would like to note that all these families are women-led households, as I mentioned, but also many of them, they have more than 2 children, or some of them have even more than 3 and 4. Also, we provide the opportunity for the household, for the women, to have a better information about what additional services they can access, because sometimes they have problems with regards to they don't know where to put their children while they will go for the employment. And we provide them access to the kindergarten, for the daycare center, where they can put their children while they can do their work or do studies at the same time. And the third and important component is about the supporting women with intensive language courses, which also provides them with the better opportunities for the employment. Basically, these are the main components how we do work, and this project will run for 8 months, and we're looking forward for the good results. We're basically starting this from October. For the first months, we made the baseline survey. Also, we made a kickoff meeting with the participants and also startup workshop with our partners. And one of the important component of our work is working with partners. Of course, we are not alone in this project, and we're much reliant on our support of our partners. And one of them is the local government. Because local government runs a lot of services, they have access to the different social programs, and we believe that this providing good opportunities for our beneficiaries to benefit with additional services and resources on their behalf. So basically, those are where the main highlights of our project. And in case you like to have more information, I'll be happy to respond to your questions. And this is our website and also the site where we also encourage the contributions for those who would like to invest into the project far more than the projects we are doing. And there's our beneficiaries. Those are benefiting with our work. Thank you once again. Maureen, thank you once again for your support, and thanks to all Soroptimist International team for their great deeds.
Thank you, David. I'm going to hand over to Leanne, who's, I think, got a few questions from the chat for each of you.
Please.
Yes, so we'll go backwards. So David, we'll start with you, and then we'll go to Rose Academies, and then we'll go to CCDO. So David, the one question that came in was about having good internet providers to enable access to the training that you are providing. Can you provide some insight on that?
Can you repeat the question? You mean if we have a good internet connection?
Yes, yep.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I would say that Georgia, in this regards, fortunately, we have a good resource in terms of the internet, and we provide this opportunity locally also. And in case of need, especially during the COVID time, the government funded the internet fee for the most vulnerable families, and especially for the children who have to have better access to the schooling.
Wonderful. Thank you, David. And thank you so much for sharing a little background on Georgia. I think it helped everyone on the call to get a better understanding. So Claire and Susan, if it's okay, I would love to come to you now. There were two questions that came in, and Susan, you answered one in the chat, but I think it's important to answer for everyone, just because not everyone is monitoring the chat. So that was, is FGM a theme in Uganda?
Yeah, that's a good question, because in some regions of sub-Saharan Africa, it's really prevalent. But in Uganda, where we are working, it is not so much of an issue. However, the far more northern part of Uganda and the far eastern region. Correct me if I'm wrong, Claire, but I believe that is more of the areas that we would have the FGM. But we are not. We've got enough issues that we're dealing with. Thank goodness. Is that correct, Claire?
I see her nodding.
Yeah. That's
Okay. And so there was 2 other questions that came in for both of you. Is there follow-up on the girls who have been helped? And then the secondary question to that was, how do you deal with girls living in the remote areas, and are you providing transport?
Okay, following up is very, very easy because we are dealing with groups. Our beneficiaries are in groups. So these girls are mostly selected from the groups of our beneficiaries, and those that are not, we have also formed a group of parents of these 30 girls that have been selected. So following up is very easy because now they are like family. We know where they stay, we know their parents, we know everyone in their communities at the moment. So it's very easy to do a follow-up. Then those that are living in the remote areas, we actually are considering doing the boarding section of the schools that we have selected. It's really not expensive, it's within our budget. So the parents will be transporting the girls to the schools at the beginning of the term, and then they will bring them back home at the end of the term. It's very easy, really, because most of the families have bicycles, so they can easily go to the schools and come back home. Yeah, but most of the girls are actually, all the girls are going to be in boarding section.
Wonderful. Thank you both. And then Susan, one more question just came in. So we'll you guys now have 3. Is climate change impacting the girls in Uganda going to school? Will it impact this project?
Climate change is something that is right on our tabletop right lately because of this causing a severe drought in that eastern area. And so we're teaching agriculture, vegetable gardening to improve the nutrition, but it won't have an impact on the girls going to school, to answer that question directly. But it is a real problem that is killing millions of people in that all along the eastern border of Africa itself. So and then I did see that someone had asked about what happens when the funding runs out, and Claire and I were just talking about that. So Claire, I'll let you talk about that just real quickly.
Yeah. So we have a vocational training program at our office in the eastern part of Uganda. That's where the 30 girls have been selected. And actually, some of the girls that have been selected have been part of that program where we teach girls like tailoring skills, and then we have the baking skills. So during the course of this whole year, we are going to be conducting some trainings, like I mentioned before, and some of them are actually the vocational skills, the skills development program. So when the program comes to an end, these girls have where to begin from. They will be taking part in the tailoring programs. They will be having baking skills. They will be taking part in any other skills that we are going to train them, and at least this can keep them going. Yeah, so we have like a train the trainers approach, whereby these girls taking part in this training can actually go back to their homes and train or teach their siblings. And yeah, it's a win-win generally right now.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Jenny, are you still here? Okay, wonderful. I see you. Let me try and unmute you.
You're on mute, Jenny.
Okay, hi.
Okay, yes. So we did have one come in for you earlier in the conversation. And it was around, are men happy that women know their rights and are becoming more independent?
I saw that, and I think that they are happy because we're explaining to them that this only helps them and the whole family. And I think why we've gone through a lot of the domestic violence, and we used to have a special course in domestic violence. For the most part, when we started our program 15 years ago, it was either construction, which is only 6 months of the year, or agriculture, which is 6 months of the year. So for 6 months of the year, you have a whole lot of men that really are not trained to do anything. They get drunk because they're frustrated, they can't, kind of look after their family. And that's when the domestic violence started. We have been doing domestic violence lectures for the past 10 years at least. And I think that we have more of a gender equality there. And we notice that there is less and less domestic violence. And they're happy to realize that the woman can help contribute to the society. And in fact, one of the things with the basket making, we went to this one village and they were making their own little baskets, but they had no direction, they had no way of selling them, they had no way of doing anything. So we started little microloans. We bought immediately 200 baskets from them, which was kind of like 3 months supply of their work. And we used them in schools. And from that, they're really very small business enterprises. From that, it gives them the satisfaction, it gives them the income, and they can help provide for the family, they can help provide education, they can help contribute towards the family life. So I think that the guys are really understanding by educating the woman, giving them more power, you are helping them as well.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Jenny. Well, with that, I think we're nearly out of time, but let's thank David and Jenny and Sobin and Claire and Susan for their time. And let's thank President Maureen for pulling this amazing presentation together. We can all use our reactions to give a little applause. And President Maureen, I would love to give you the floor to close out the meeting.
Thank you, Leanne. I just want to add my thanks to Leanne, Jenny, Suvan, Susan, Claire, and David. I think what you've done is actually brought the projects to life for me today, and I'm hoping you've done the same for the other people. They've been very informative, they've been very interesting, but totally inspiring, and I just think what you're doing is just wonderful. And so I just want to close by saying thank you to the participants who have come on the call with us. I just ask you to please share these with your club members and further afield. I see in the chat that some people are going to show them to their regions, which is absolutely wonderful because that will share the story. And we hope to maybe have another one. Our 4th project is actually going to start probably next week. It's in the Caribbean. It will be in 3 islands. And then our 5th one will probably start in January. And it's going to be in South America, in Paraguay. So can I just thank everybody for coming? I'm sorry we've run over time, but I think it was absolutely just fantastic to hear it. And I didn't want to stop the presenters. So thank you very much indeed. And have a lovely festive season and a happy new year.
Thank you.